And
Thank you,
yes,
Ma.
we are live. We're live with Joy, Dennis-Ajai. It's so good to be listening to Joy this morning because Joy is I know Joy, right? And but it's interesting that I don't know all of the story. And it's going to be very exciting listening to Joy this morning because I am going to be listening to some parts of the story that I don't know, which is part of the sweet part of it, right? So Joy is going to be sharing on my intentional parenting journey this morning, and you're welcome. And I hope you've been following my intentional parenting journey. If you were not here yesterday, you need to go and catch replay of that session. All right. While we're here, even though we're here and all of them seeing Joy in camera, I'm also going to be spending the next 4 days with Joy at the retreat. Yeah, I can't wait. But yes, at the couples conference retreat. So yes, when I tell you that I know Joy, yes, I know Joy. Joy is my person, right? Right? So yes, if you're watching me, you're listening to me, you are going to be watching Joy Dennis-Ajai. And Joy Dennis-Ajai will be sharing with us how she got into the inner circle and what made her to be here. She's also a masterpiece woman. So she's in everywhere that I look, right? Yes, she's one of those people. Welcome here, Joy. Over to you. Tell me exactly, how did you get into the inner circle? Parenting
Good
journey this morning.
morning, my amazing coach. Thank you so much, Mama, for this great opportunity. I do not take it for granted at all. I'm so excited. Oh, my journey. Mama, it's been in phases. I've actually grown with you. My children have grown with the inner circle. My marriage has grown with the inner circle. My life, everyone around me, we've all evolved around you and with your work. And I'm so grateful to God for the opportunity. In fact, finding the inner circle has been a pot of gold for me. You know how you know that you have a deposit of gold somewhere, and each time
Mm,
you're low on resources, you go and you
mm,
fetch. You go and you fetch. So the inner circle has become that place I go to fetch. Fetch what? Fetch knowledge, up to date knowledge. So my
mm.
story began in 2018. In fact, I met you in 2016 as a newly wedded bride.
Yes, so
As a newly wedded bride at one of your friends' birthday celebration. You came bearing good gifts and a trumpeter. It was like my first experience of seeing a trumpet and someone being celebrated. I was like, she's not a governor, not a minister, not celebrating her 60th birthday. What's happening here? Why are these people so much? And I said, wow. So I began to take note of you all in that circle. Auntie Etima was there, Auntie Joy unspeakable, but I remember yourself, your husband, um, Madam Tracy, her husband, and like that. And then my neighbor, Mommy Anu, she's now in Japan. Mrs. Ayo introduced me. We were in Pentville then, so she introduced me to the inner circle. And Auntie Etima mentioned also that you had started something. So it was the Facebook Live at first, the TIP Live programs on Facebook, and then no yelling challenge. And I was like, what's all this? No yelling? How do you raise a child without yelling? I said, let's see. I'm at home. I just had a baby, so I'll try it. I needed anything parenting, just give it to me. This thing is new. It looks so confusing. And with a toddler that would not eat. He only wanted breast milk. I said, I need help. Even if it's not nutrition, maybe I'll hear something that will inspire something. Then I'll do it right and get him to eat. I just needed a miracle. So I jumped on it when I heard it's about parenting. I had always loved to read books. And then, Mama, you were at my son's naming ceremony, this very son that would not eat. You were at his naming. You led the praise and worship section. And the governor led everything. He was the deacon in charge then of my home sale, the district home sale. And so it wasn't like a stranger I was going to hand over my destiny to. So I wanted to learn from everybody. As long as you're a church person, I'm ready to learn from you. And not just church people, but you are intentional people. And That's how I started following. I didn't get into the inner circle the first year. I think it was about 40,000 then. It was a lot of money. But I said the next year, I would have to like write up my agenda and present it to my husband because he's a very realistic person and he's logical. So you need to have solid reasons. And then we were just newly married, and I was like, hey, how do I present this thing? Because he felt I knew it all. I was properly raised. That's why he married me. So what parenting school do I need now? So I sold the idea to him gradually, and then the next year he supported me. He was not ready to join because he was like, no yelling challenge only. How many did you say you want? And he brought out the calculator and calculated. Hey, and you people are paying how much? You know how much this your coach is making? I had no words, but I paid. And then it wasn't much, 999 naira, but he still calculated. He said, you know how many of you, you better look for what you start doing too to make money. And I was like, but here I am today. And later, some years after, here he is also, and also a disciple and an advocate for TIP, conclave, and everything about humor.
Amazing, amazing. You are listening to Joy. Somebody said Joy is a family member. You're really right. Joy is family. I've actually watched Joy grow up. I saw when she got married. And in fact, I watched her have a children, and all of that. And most times when I just look at her, I'm like, oh, see Joy. It's so amazing listening to you this morning, hearing you. Somebody said coach is even a chorister. Who are these people now? Who are these people? That should not let me rest. Yes, I am a. But you heard me say that I sang. I was a child chorister. I sang all through growing up. I was in choir. So yes, I actually, I actually sing. So because my husband is a district, minister, when there is naming, he just carries me along. Oh yeah, my chorister, come and sing along, and I sing along, and then we name the child, and then we go. It's so good hearing from you, Joy. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for listening to me. So you are listening live to Joy. Joy has an amazing journey. Amazing. And if you have not been listening, Joy is family. Joy is someone I know, no, 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 no. Right? So call her my baby girl. You'll be so right. All righty. So thank you so much for being here. And somebody said every day we learn something new about coach. Yeah, that's leave me now. Yes, and I see Mr. Dennis-Ajai. Mr. Dennis-Ajai is here, and that's Joy's husband. He's also a yada. Now, Joy, talk to me. We're going to the real conversation of the day. How has the inner circle helped you in whatever area you want to take it from? In fact, I've watched Joy do so much that sometimes I'm like, wow, wow, like really. My husband and I were still talking the other day. I was like, look at Joy. I mean, it's so amazing, honestly. But share with us, how has the inner circle helped you in any area you want to take it from? Parenting, your marriage, your career. And in fact, Joy has a resounding testimony. I'm sure you guys are going to be excited to hear it. I am also excited to hear it. So, yes, over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Mama. Okay, Mama, I would like to start off with the beginning, maybe a part of my marriage, my relationship with my in-laws. So it was from you I first heard that we should create like other responsible adults around our children, our family, and all. Because it's not enough to have your parenting plan, your structure and everything, media plan, and then the adults around you. Because we are first of all a function of our environment, the people in it, and the knowledge that those people have and that we have. So they're going to influence our children, whether positively or negatively. And I'm like, wow. So I started off with my in-laws. I had watched my mom manage polygamous family from both her side and my dad's side, and she did it relatively well. But I was like, there should be more to this thing. I watched and saw that there was a narrative where children were not close to the father's family, And I said I would want it to be different. So I discussed with my husband, and I said, usually my mom should be here to take care of me, but I want to use this as an opportunity to bond with my mother-in-law. And then we started. So when I heard from you about the relationships we have and how they should influence our children positively, I thought, oh, I can jump on this and actually get my mother-in-law to help with my son, who at that point it was difficult to be with, like getting him to eat and all. And then I had to win him. So he was 1 year and 3 months. And then I needed to go to Ghana to defend my master's program. And I took the bold step after I got courage from what I heard you say, that there's no lion out. The lion is not out there to catch our children. We have to trust someone else. We can't do it all by ourselves. Our bedroom is too small to parent our children. And then I took my son, 1 year, 2 months, my clingy, picky eater, to my mother-in-law, and I weaned him off. And I rushed to Ghana to defend my thesis. And I went through the weaning process. He was all right. He's 7 years old today. He didn't die. Nothing happened. But I gained the trust of my mother-in-law. It took our relationship to another dimension. It opened up. It gave me access. Coach has taught us about access to men. It gave me access to my mother-in-law, and our relationship took a turn for the better. After then, we started practicing again. Okay, we'll travel and then invite my mother-in-law over to spend time with the children in the house. With Toby then at first, my first son. And then it was working. We said, wow, my husband will not object. As long as I bring it up in a sensible way, he won't object. And then she did this for a few times. And I realized it's not that bad leaving your children with your parents, your in-laws. And I got to know her better. And thankfully, they are believers and all. So I'm not saying just throw your children when you know that, oh, the relationship, and then probably there's a foundational error and all that, or safety issues. But of course, you made your checks. That's why you should be in the Marriage Seal Academy and learn about marrying rights in the first place. So you'll be comfortable enough, or you hear from God also in addition to that, before you get married. Don't get married and start hiding your children from the in-laws. They are part of your family. And so from there, I won the heart of my mother-in-law. And since then, that opened access. Later on, I learned honor as a skill and added it on top of the already thriving relationship we had. And it helped me. Like, I became a reference point in my husband's family, I dare to say. I became a reference point for every marriage that will take place. They would have to say, have you seen how Job, I say, God, thank you, this is you. But I know that I learned from somewhere, and I changed the narrative in my own family and my own little way. So from my relationship with my in-laws, I saw how God can transform, and then you can change the narrative yourself. It doesn't have to always be that your in-laws are after you or they want to kill your son. If my husband grew up under his parents and he didn't die, why should my own child, their grandchild, be eaten by them? There's no witch out there. It's in our mind, and it's in how we've been raised. So we need to change the narrative. And so I did that, and it led to another time that I made things happen for my in-laws without thinking of my own parents. And it ended up coming back to me because, Coach, eventually our travel plans and everything involved both parents. In about 2022 or so, we all traveled to a resort. My parents, at first it was like, oh, we're going to rest. We'll go with dad and mom. I was like excited about it, his parents. Then he said, no, we're going with your parents, so they should rest. And we were there. It was amazing. My dad had not rested in a long time. He's a workaholic. So it was amazing for them. Everyone was calling and thanking my husband and everything. We were there for about 3 days. The children will run from one room to another, one grandparent's room to the other. And we also got to rest. It was like Easter period. We were using our tools. So they saw what we were doing was working. And it took our relationship to another level. We all got to bond. So please, I'm encouraging everyone out there. It's not just this intentional parenting thing. It's not just about us. Parenting is first about us, not even these children. So please fix your relationship with your in-laws. It's doable. I did it, and I'm enjoying the fruits today. That's just one aspect, and many more I can't even remember right now because of how excited I am and all. But then my marriage, my relationship with my husband, I applied honor as a skill that year. I applied different things and I saw how it led me to enjoy the fruits of marriage. Is it the credit alerts? Then I'll just send messages to Coach Wendy that this thing is working. Oh, I got credit alerts. I'm enjoying baby girl life too. Like few small. Even though I wasn't working, I had access. I could pay for courses because I was using honor as a skill to get resources and to get things that I really needed to help. So I'm really, really grateful to God for the inner circle. It has affected my marriage. And then later on, I would use the same skills I have learned to bring in my husband to join me in doing this work. From our tools, day-to-day tools, I softly found a way to just involve him. We have daily connection tools where we read bedtime stories to our children. We play with them. I don't know, but I got so serious as an adult and lost that side of fun about myself. And I realized the inner circle brought it back. It created a spark. When they say connect to correct, you have to first sit with these children, come down from your high horse, be vulnerable with them, play with them. And I applied all this. We started. So for the bedtime routine, I was doing it alone at first. Parenting alone is hard, especially when your partner is alive and well and present.
Mm,
You can
mm,
get him involved, and there are ways to this. So you don't just come, like what you say, you have some higher knowledge now and you're like feeling on top of the world. Humility agbada, you will wear it 100 yards. It will get torn, it will get shredded. You get a new one and put it on. In fact, I don't know how many humility agbadas I've had to borrow, had to sew, had to order as an emergency. Then I got involved in asking my husband to just please come read bedtime stories to them. And you know, all of a sudden, they used to look forward to my own bedtime stories. They said, Mom, we prefer Daddy's bedtime stories. He gets to tell us real stories. And I said, oh, I need to up my game. These children are beginning to tilt. But it was encouraging. And I saw that, oh, my husband became more interested. And I didn't know Coach had been preparing me. You know, I said, we've been evolving with her. A lot has happened on our journey. And at each point, I just look back and I'm like, oh, Coach saw ahead. Oh, this thing she taught us, I'm needing it now. And I never knew. So that's just like two aspects. And then that brought my husband into the inner circle. At this time, I was already on my way to probably the third year to go into level 3. And so when he decided to join me, I heard a parent say she was going to start from level 1 again. So I said, why not? If not, I'm not in a hurry because we're in this TIP for life. I'm going to pass it on to my children by God's grace, and they'll pass it on to their children's children. I'm selling it to everybody around me because the society we live in now, without the right knowledge, you can't survive. Everyone knows now. 2020 was icing on the cake. It actually revealed to everyone the need for this because we had more autistic children and all. I've not even gone into how TIP has affected each of my children. I don't even know, but then it was a game changer for me that my husband came on with me and it made it easier. Parenting can be easy if it's done the right way and with the right persons and the right tools. So I'm grateful at this point. We'll still continue, but at this point, let me
wow,
leave
wow, wow.
it
It was how Joy started from her relationship with her in-laws. Sometimes when the others share their journey, truth be told, there are a lot of things that cannot be shared, but I'm sure that we're able to actually put to word a few things that you would learn, and it will be a blessing to you. 1 hour is not enough to chronicle a journey of like 4 years. How do you do that? I have watched it. So this is the journey I have seen. So when people say, Coach, so it was Antietima who was teaching at the Lagos um, summit. And she said to them, he said, you think that this thing Coach does? Oh, she says, you need to come to me, make sure that there is, this thing is arranged, there's no anyhowness. She said, that's right. Like I sleep on her bed, and yet, you wake up the next thing she's saying, hey, did you bring it? So why is it not together? So, madam, can you just arrange yourself? And when she was saying it, I was laughing. I was like, how it is that you're like, so it's easy for you to see if you have people who are close to you who can really actually, see how things work. And so that's why when people say, are you sure that these testimonies, people that are sharing these stories, are you sure it's real? I said, as real as life itself, because these things they happen around me. There are people who are very close to me who are in the inner circle. It's a transparent bit, right? So it's easy to be authentic when your life has no hidden parts. So yeah, yeah, just struggling and going. When Joy was sharing about her in-laws, one of the things I know, right, is it's that there's a teaching. I was still teaching that to Masterpiece Women that I start with recently. There is a teaching that we have that have been inherited from our parents of something that if we're not intentional, we would actually do same thing and just say, oh, village people are pursuing us, and all of that. Meanwhile, there are just things that you need to learn. Relationship management is a big deal. And I remember that in one of those classes, I had shared that I don't know why I've never been able to understand the I'm fighting with my in-laws thing. Please forgive me. But it's something that I've been intentional about from day one because I understand that it is an important aspect of my parenting journey. So that means I need to work hard to ensure that the relationship is sane. Now, it might be difficult when you have already reached a certain level. You don't already fight, scatter everywhere. Just so it's difficult. So for the joy that started very early, so easy. That's why this starting early is a game changer. So as you're hearing it, you're implementing it, you're going. But if you don't know, you just feel carry body, put this guy, they have come for me kind of thing. When I speak broken, others say I don't know how to speak. And if anybody says that in this my intentional parenting journey, in fact, I will catch you. Don't ever. I can speak my broken like that. But but bottom line is these things are doable if you know what to do. Most times we go the wrong route because we do not know what to do. That's the truth. And when you begin to actually know, you will begin to do things differently. And you understand the why. Not just be, talk to people. There is a why. There's a reason why these things, are done. Thank you again. You're watching Joy Dennis-Ajai, who has finally covered me that I sing in church. And all of you that are not saying that so coach is a chorister. Yes, I sing. If you don't know about it, today you now know. Thank you so much. And yet, if you want to say that joy is family and you are hearing from someone that you can say, okay, that person knows coach very well. Really? Yes. So, yes, you are very correct. All righty. So, Joy, talk to me
Yes.
about your journey, your career. Have you had significant changes being in the inner circle and where your career, has been? I saw your testimony yesterday at the masterpiece, group. I was like, yeah, I almost, jumped off the roof. But congratulations to you again.
Thank you,
And
Ma.
yes, over to you. You can share with us.
All right. Thank you, Ma. So, concerning my career, at first I came into the inner circle confused, um, like all of a sudden from wanting to be a career person to finding myself with a 1 year old, a toddler, and being a stay at home mom. Like Nigeria happened, no jobs, and I didn't have any skills, entrepreneurial skills. I had always grown up knowing that read your books, come out with good grades, and get a job. So I was like, what? There's this thing I say, imitating the Indians, what to do? And then I got to TIP. And then I would later hear that I am in purpose. This is like, I heard this only recently. But before now, I was a Sunday school teacher, naive and always not knowing what to do. So the inner circle helped me in my place of work. At that time, my place of work was in the ministry God gave me, the children's ministry. At first, I'll go to the class and I'll always dodge. Then, as a teens church teacher with Auntie Etima, I'm always like, Auntie Joy, you're taking the word. I'm like, please now, I'm not ready. I don't know what to say. They're looking. And I'll dodge. But TIP, growing in TIP helped me, created the fun activities I was doing with the children, my own children. I began to translate it into the work in church. And then I realized that it was working. I started with the baby class. I realized that this connect to correct, it's not only with your children, it can be in your workplace. And then because I was working with children, I began to apply it. And I saw that it was working. These children, the next time they come, they want me to carry them, or they want me to attend to them. The parents want me. And I'm like, okay, there's something I'm doing right. I continued listening. Tuesday live, short courses and all that. And I'm like, wow, it's working. So I used this and I grew, as I grew in each stage, at each point in the work of God, I realized that with each child, I was beginning to understand these children and based on their peculiarities. So it's not one size fits all. You have to connect, come to their level and know what to do. So I was gaining knowledge that I was applying in my workspace then. So I said, okay, if I can't get a government job or the job I want, this is the work at hand. So let me do this one well. Probably the Lord will shine on me and then I'll get a job. So I was doing that. But I was also developing skills and my mindset was changing. That's another thing that was happening. My mindset was actually changing and I was growing. Then all of a sudden, I went from being this boring teacher and this unprepared teacher to a teacher that was coming with solutions. I was beginning to observe. I was beginning to notice. We need to do this for these children. Can we please tag them so we know them by their names? I realized that when you mention their names, remember connection. When you mention their names, they begin to respond better and positively. And I was like, wow, it's working. So I was beginning to look forward to every Sunday. Before now, I could dodge, and my son has kata. I may not serve today. Please, I'm not ready. I'm still breastfeeding. You know, this boy is not eating now. The willingness was there, but I knew I was unprepared. And you know how it is. Those sons of when those guys went to deliver, when Jesus sent his disciples out and they went for deliverance and they were beaten. I didn't want to be flogged though, because it's very embarrassing when you go and you don't have what to give. So as I was gaining knowledge, my confidence began to grow. I began to grow more confident in this work I was doing. And today, as I'm like 9 years in children's church and I have changed. In fact, I began to train teachers. I had the opportunity to serve in the training unit and word unit. I was beginning to, because I love reading the Bible and all. So I began to see that, okay, these things I love doing can be translated into work. So it's not your life, everything around your life or everything you're learning is for a purpose and it's for a reason and you can apply it. So the emotions intelligence, oh my God. Please, if you see that course anywhere, do it every year. Keep doing it until you become emotionally intelligent and you are certified by, I don't know who will certify you, but please, it's one course that the Intentional Parents Academy offers. I am selling it to you. Please, pursue that course. It will come up soon. Please, find a way. That course helped me. I applied it again. And this honor as a skill, when these children come, and I'm greeting them. I don't just, they are humans, they are not robots. I was applying it to my children, it was working. So I would apply it again to these children and I'll see that, okay, this thing is working. Then it translated. So, I said it's a journey, I've been growing. So I remained in children's church and not working in like a secular job, but I was working in the home as a housewife. And then I saw that I was bringing value. It was in this same TIP I realized that as a housewife, I can bring value to my home. I just thought it was about cooking meals, making sure the children are clean, everything. But I realized there is more. So I was gaining knowledge and it was working. because I was becoming more productive. I learned time management in this same inner circle. So I wouldn't want to go late to serve at my workplace, because if I was being paid, I would be queried. So why should I then go late to my workplace in church? So I had to apply it. Excellence, I said, it begins with me. So even my own children began saying, Mommy, I want to be in your class. Like when I was in the 5 years class and my son was 5, I was changed to another class. I went to 3 years, and he said, Mom, I want to be in your class. I said, but you can't go backwards, and you have to go forward. He said he likes my teaching style. I said, God, thank you. Come, review from my own child. So something is working, and I can, everything I am today, I can trace it back to God's grace and the knowledge from the inner circle. So that led me on my journey, and still this honor as a skill, and I obtained favor from my husband, and he sent me again for another master's degree. That okay, if that first master's in nutrition is not bringing the thing you want to do, he even encouraged me, okay, become a consultant now. You have stuff, do stuff. But I found out like I probably was a perfectionist. It was still the same inner circle told me excellence is not perfection. I now said, okay. So each time I hear from coach, I have to go back, review, listen again, and then unlearn and relearn. I'm like, okay. So it keeps, I kept getting better and better. My friends will say, you have so much. Someone even told me one time that if you start this parenting thing, I'll come. Why are you not out there? And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm called for. Me, I'm learning and sharing with you people. So it eventually led to me gaining another master's degree, this time around in the UK. And then I went to coach again. She was among the first persons I met. I want to go to the UK. She asked me one question: are you going with the children? And at that point, I was like, no. So I was like, this one coach is asking me. Then I sent a message to Auntie Timatu. She was like, are you going with the children? I said, no. She said, ha. My mom too was like, you're not going with the children. No. But because I had a working relationship with my mother-in-law, of course, I invited mommy over again. Mommy, please leave your business. So 1 year, how far? Let's do it now. She was like, we can do it, we can do it. And she came over graciously. We put systems in place. That's why structure is very important. So she came, media plan. The children introduced our media plan to her. Said, Grandma, this is the world. So Grandma too had to either do it when they're not around and all that. So it translates into everything around our lives. So then my career progressed, and in the beginning I went alone. But with the teachings again here and all, it became clear that the children needed to be with me, because 1 year in the life of a child or any child is too much for the parents. We shouldn't even be apart in the first place. Then the mother, the nurturer, is now so far away. So 1 month after, yours truly, I called my husband again and asked, please, even before I left, please, sir, how far? Please, sir, we need this thing. So I sold it again to him the way coach had taught us, the way we've seen her do it. Sir, please, these children need to be with me, sir. I can do it. I can do it. And that was how he allowed the children join me. And we started. But, he had connected with them in his own way while I was away. So that offered him the opportunity to see the value of TIP. And his review, after staying with them for the short time he did, he was like, you have been doing this parenting thing alone. Even though now I'm saying it, we were doing these tools every day with these children, and you didn't complain. You didn't throw it in my face. You really tried, though. I was like, thank you, sir. Shebi, you were paying for me now. I was grateful for that one. So, and I know that his love language is words of affirmation. I continue to use it with honor. I was bombarding him with all of it, and it was like massaging his ego. We learned that in the couples conclave, along with what we're learning in TIP. So it worked for me. I used it all, and they now joined me. And then that was when I saw TIP in action. I'm still talking about career. Please, I'm sorry I'm taking time, but
No, it's fine.
it's a journey. And so when they joined me, it was now like, all those people wielding cane. Thank God for TIP. I had attacked screen time. I had attacked yelling. That one, I didn't even get to talk about how I got from no yelling to being calm. I finally mastered it, gone, 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 in this diaspora. Because you cannot go and be shouting anyhow. Those who were shouting were looked at like, are these people okay? So we're all coming from a lot, a lot. I kept extending grace, but our people in diaspora were really struggling. And for the opportunities I had with a few people that were close, I'll just be like, there's this thing I can tell you about. So you know how these people sell their natural herbs on the road? Me, I was selling TIP after my salvation. That's the second thing I sell. Someone even asked if I'm a staff at TIP Academy. I would have loved to, but I wasn't at the time. So I said, no, I'm not. I'm just someone who loves what I have seen and it's working for, and I know her personally. She's not a scammer. So I was selling the narratives to them. And then everything I had learned at TIP played out. It was as if for everything that was going to happen, Coach Wendy had sent a voice note or a webinar or the book for the month. I was just like, these connection tools, everything now played out for me while in diaspora. I began to tell people back at home, if you want to jackpot, go and learn. There's work to be done. Don't come and learn here. Learn before you come and continue the work while you're here. So jackpotting is not for the faint-hearted. I want to use this opportunity to tell people that are not in the Intentional Parenting Academy yet, and you have plans to jackpot. If you're still among the remnants left in Nigeria that are still considering jackpotting, please, I have gone and I have returned. I came out victorious because I knew what to do by God's grace with the knowledge I had gathered here. You have to be on your game with time, else you'll be late to drop off your children, and these people can tell when you're not organized. I got reviews from the parents at my teachers, the teachers at my children's school over there, and one of the times my son got an award for pleasant manners just before we left. My daughter was the one going around telling people, like when they have new intakes, she was the one selected to like take them round on a tour around the school at 3 years because of the bedtime stories and the connection tools we had been applying. So they were able to express themselves better. So back to my career, let me just cut the long story short. I returned this year from the UK and it was like, what do I do again? Another master's degree added. And I said, okay, I'll probably get back with my church work and get more serious with it. And then I got an opportunity to join the Masterpiece mentorship program. Oh my God, and I got admitted. Last year I wanted to try, but I knew that the season of my life then, I wouldn't be able to follow through. So I said, I'll wait till I return. And then it was there I was looking for purpose. There was a time we had a connection tool and everyone wrote what they wanted to be and who they were. And I was the one feeling it too. It got to my turn, I did not know what to write. When I was to feel purpose, I said, hey, I've been busted. I didn't know what to do. So it was at TIP again, one of the webinars, Coach talked about how everything we're doing now is where we are actually where we ought to be. God has a plan for each one of us. And of course, from the Masterpiece Women's Mentorship Tribe, I now realize I am living in purpose. I am in purpose. As long as you are in God's will, you have a relationship with God. You are learning and you are applying what you are learning from His Word. You are in purpose. Whether good or bad, all the things that have happened to you have led you to where you are, and it's for a reason. So I said, oh, growing up in the far north, schooling in Ghana, every person I have met, every relationship has led me to where I am today, every knowledge I have learned. And then that was how I was invited for an interview where I had applied. And this whole skills came into play. And I had the opportunity to be asked, why would you want to be taken for this role? And I heard Coach Wendy's voice in my head. I had been dreaming about her anyway since 2022. She had been appearing in my dreams. So I heard her voice, and it was everything that has happened to me, everything I've been doing has led me to this point. And then I began telling them with a story, as Coach Wendy would say. I gave them a background and then answered the question, and it was like, wow. She seems to know what she's doing. And they looked so interested. And then that morning, my husband and I had prayed together before the interview. And then I had learned, sat at his feet and learned from his years of experience. I heard that, okay, ask a question. It's going to up your game in this interview. Always ask a question so it would leave an impression. And then we both brainstormed. So he was like, you know that thing that happened with AI while you were in the UK? You could use it to ask them, because I had told him, oh, the school has a lot of, they're very advanced technologically and all, and the use of AI. So he was like, ask them this question about AI and the policies they have in place. I was like, okay. So we tweaked the question together and I went. Remember, if I had not submitted to his priesthood and to him being the head in the home, and I was doing what a man can do, a woman can do, and better, I wouldn't have sat to hear what he had to say to me. But he had his place, and I let him take his place in my life. And I ran with it too. I asked the question, and 3 out of the panel members, it's like I ruffled their feathers. And then they looked at the white man who was the VC, like, one over to you. You are the one that brought this idea of AI. And the man, I watched him like compose himself. I was like, hey God. Inside of me, I was excited. I was like, I was scared and excited. And this man responded, trying to be calm, like he was trying to put his thoughts together and answer me intelligently. And I was like, oh my God. Am I now the one interviewing these people? And that was how I left. And I got feedback that I was successful and I had left an impression. So, Coach, please take your flowers. Thank you, Ma. And yours truly got a job. Finally.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. What a journey that Joy had. It might not be so, and oh, for the record, Joy studies in the academics, of course, obviously. And of course, it, it, you might not really understand some of the conversations that happen in these places until you are in the yard. You know, I remember one of the days when I said purpose is not lost was a yarder telling me, "Hey, I'm looking for my purpose." Since I said, "I don't understand. You being here is part of your purpose." Hey, everybody said, "I don't understand." Like, you mean that being here is part of my purpose? And look at Joy today walked the journey, and the journey has been so awesome in all ramifications. Joy, thank you so much for sharing your journey. And the Master Conclave is here. Yes, we see you, the governor. The beauty of working together as a couple, it gives you the best result. Joy said something. I remember teaching, and I said, there is a part of your spouse that is a God given part. And then if you don't learn to honor it, you won't assess it. Everybody will be saying outside, you know how, because they say, your husband is the one that helped me. He helped my life. Without him, I would have been you're there, laughing, you're watching, you're like, he helps people. Like this same man that I'm looking at like this in my house. It's because the part of a prophet you don't honor will never come to you. It doesn't even matter who. So
Yes.
I usually would say that it's what you honor that you benefit from. That's it.
Yes.
So some of us have powerful wives, some of us have powerful husbands. They are doing they are prophesying for people. They are doing, but you cannot benefit from it because you don't understand the place of honor. One teaching that will tear up your head in the masterpiece because it's so key. While you're just on that journey, you're just feeling, and you will see it live and direct. Honor is a game changer, a game changer in everything about your journey. And the inner circle positions you. I've seen people share how their businesses became a multi-million naira businesses just by applying honor skill. Not in the house. We teach it. We teach it in a way that you can apply it in your home, in your work. Look at what Joy was saying. Even in that interview, there's a posture you take when you understand honor as a skill. There's a
Yes.
posture you take. It's a different kind of posture. There's a posture you take, even in teaching, you're volunteering. I usually say that when you're doing that work, you think it's not the work, do it well. That's where you're going to be met. And you're doing it well, you're learning. I usually would tell my staff, you're not learning from you, you're learning for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are going to use this thing in the places that matter. It is what you honor, you benefit from. Don't miss that. If it is what you honor, you benefit from. Anytime that you find yourself in a place struggling, it means there is an access to light you do not have, because light enters darkness and darkness comprehended it not. So if there's an area that you are struggling with, hmm, if there's an area that you are struggling, it means that you've not been able to access light in it. All the light you might want to access might just be that there's something, I usually say to you, I said, there's something your spouse might be carrying, that the only place you can access it is from your spouse. You will struggle forever because you can't find it anywhere else. You can't. And you can die struggling in that thing and you will never access it because it is very, very important. All right. Somebody said my feathers are dropping one by one. Feathers, when you come into the inner circle, when you're coming, you come in like tolo tolos. I was speaking with some new incoming yarders. They just had this body. This inner circle self. Let them see. December. If you're waiting for 1st of December, don't come with a peacock feather. It will be burnt literally and shredded on the floor. Because that your peacock feather, we need. Did you hear Joy? He said, I sowed humility about that. I wore extra. I removed it. It got torn. It got shredded. I even borrowed. We borrow it. Whether in your marriage or in your parents, in your relationship with people, you shall be humble. Very humble. So if you had wings, all the tolo tolo wings that you come with, what are they saying here? Just come very humble, please, so that when you are burning your feather, you will not be naked. So come naked and not ashamed. That's how we come. We come naked and not ashamed. Nothing hidden, nothing. We come, we get mended, we get broken, and we continue until we get there. What an amazing journey that Joy has actually shared with us. Thank you so much, Joy, again for sharing this journey with us. And so, yes, Joy has her dream job. Is not the so the wait was not for naught. So, sometimes we're even looking for something and God is saying you're not ready. You're not ready. I was having a conversation with my friend at Etima, and she said she realized why God didn't give her a particular thing she was looking for. Oh God, help me. Oh God, God is saying you don't have what it takes to get into the palace. And even if I take you to the palace, they will pursue you because there are skills that are required for you to sit at the table with kings. So I want to prepare you so that you are not disgraced out of the palace. And if you are just shouting, oh God, it has taken Joy 3 years to actually be able to stretch, learn. 4th year, learning different parts. Something happened to Joy recently. She sent me a chat. Immediately it happened. And she said, this is where I am. I said, calm down, calm all the way down. Nobody has died. Calm all the way down. This is what we're going to do. She said, Ma, I'm so pained. I said, you will be pained. Who said you will not be pained? You will be all right. In fact, when she finished talking to me, I just smiled. I said, welcome to life journey. You're getting there. You're getting there. You're getting there. And because of the things she has learned over the years, the way she handled it, I was looking at this young girl. This is my baby girl. I was looking at this. I said, when I saw the end of the result, I said, look at this. I don't even know if me, I would have been able to handle it that way. I was so impressed. Like, come on now. So you need to be prepared so that you don't get into You don't get into a place and then you are pursued out of it. So, inner circle prepares you, builds you up, gives you the skills so that when the things come, you chest it, like we say in Nigerian palace. You chest it. My Zambia yadas, do you know what chesting is? Let me explain to you guys. Cameroonian yadas and Ghanaian yadas here. The thing just goes like this. You're like, oh yeah, I'm good. We're all good, right? So when something happens, you just tell yourself, come all the way down, all the way, and we will be all right. We're not dead. Solution day. We will just work it out. You are live with Joy Dennis-Ajai. Joy Dennis-Ajai is a yada. She and her husband. And yes, I told you that I'm going to be spending the next 4 days with Joy. I'm going to hear more gist that you will not hear. Alrighty, Joy, let's talk about the webinars. What will be your top 3 webinars? What did they do to you? And why are they your top 3?
Honor as a skill, ma. Honor as a skill. Honor all the way, anytime, any day. Because it's changed everything about my life, my relationship with my parents, my friends, my husband. Shout out to him. My children, because honor is customer service brought home. I used to think, oh, you'd have to go to a workspace, a secular place like back then, all those new generation banks, the way they would greet you and everything. And coach brought it home. Said, honor is as little as serving your children food in your best dishes that you've kept away to serve your visitors when they come. Honor is in as little as coming down to your children's eye level and listening to them when they need to talk with you. There is a difference between being at home, like you're present, and then you're always on your phone chatting, making phone calls, and you don't have time for that child. It is what you pay attention to that you would see grow. And then when you actually apply all these things, you're honoring those children, whether they're teenagers, married, or they're children. You can see, like for people in places of authority or high valued persons, if you didn't have their phone numbers before and you didn't honor them in any way, I tell you the truth, when they get to the palace and you come and say, oh, he was my classmate, I get thee behind me, for I do not know you. But honor gets you a place to sit with kings. The number of things, each time coach comes, I'm like, God, these things, it's so much, and I am so grateful because I keep applying them and I see it working. It doesn't matter who. Honor is a universal currency. It doesn't matter where you find yourself. It's applicable everywhere, even with your domestic staff. Everyone likes to be treated well. I have a domestic staff that has worked with me for the past 5 years, and people say, how do you do it? How have you maintained? How has she stayed with you even while I was away? She was around. So it's in treating other people like they matter. So I had to sell it to my kids. I heard coach say, oh, the domestic staff or anyone that comes around, plumber or anyone doing the plumbing work, doing any menial job, accord them the respect you would want to be accorded. I'm not saying dobale for them or anything, but no, treat them just as little as greeting somebody, the security man at the gate every day, saying good morning, sir, how are you, how was your night? It's something that's a way of honoring someone. Or getting a gift for someone you love, or someone, even if it's your spouse. I keep telling my husband, I am coming with that gift to honor you. And we have to start from where we are at. And also for Coach Wendy, I'm still coming, ma. Then I'll proceed to the one about not bailing out. Hey, God. Not bailing out sons.
Your
hey.
son. Yeah.
In fact, the title, that one ruffled me. I was like, oh my God. Hey, I started thinking of my life. I said how I bailed out my father, how I bailed out my brothers. I remember when my brother would be in the kitchen helping us out along with my cousins, and we'll be like, growing up in the north now, men don't come to the kitchen. I beg, go and find something to do. You want your wife to disrespect you? I used to say that. When I got this knowledge, I ran back to him again. I said, you see that thing I was saying that time? Now you are married. I hope you're helping your wife. Oh, please, oh, forgive me. I did not know then. Please, help her. Oh, help her. Oh, please, oh, help her with your son. Do school runs. Don't cross your leg. Help her in the kitchen. Oh, you see that kitchen? Help her. Oh, it's even it's a life skill. You should, that cooking you were cooking that you dropped, please pick it up again. Oh, check YouTube for videos. Do anything you can do. It helps to bond. It helps. I had to go back and sell everything I had learned again to him. And today my sister-in-law is in the inner circle, my best friend. Shout out to them all, my close friends, because I realized if you are alone, parenting alone, and these children have to go out there, if your friends are not in the inner circle with you, remember that we are a factor of our environment. Coach said something the other day. If you have done all you've learned here and you take your child, when we were doing the back to school master class, that's another one. Oh my God. And you drop your child in the wrong environment or wrong school without doing your proper research, almost everything will go in the mud. The environment is bigger than your values. Those values you hold so dear that your family abides to, and everything in your home is too small when you go out there. So it's just, that has been a game changer for me. Then not bailing out my son. I started allowing my son to do things where I said, my friends, when my younger brother comes around, oh yeah, have you done this for me? Have you done that? I said, no, I'm not bailing out anybody again. And a lot more than that. Then I'll come to the master school, back to school master class. That webinar helped us. It saved us a whole lot in Nigeria and everywhere. We applied it in choosing a school for our children when we had to move houses from a certain part of Abuja to another, and we came and use the guidelines. So people say parenting doesn't have a manual. Your life has a manual. If you're a Christian or Muslim, you have principles that you're guided by. So how come parenting doesn't have a manual? I don't agree. So please, there is a manual, and there is someone that wields the manual for my own parenting journey. And Coach Wendy is that chosen person that God has given the mandate for parenting, and it is working. So we used it to search for a school. We looked at the guidelines and checked that it aligned with our values and all. And also looked at the school's values, the disciplinary strategies and everything, policies around it and all, and the school environment. And when we got there, we chose that school for our children, and it was something else. I got there again, and of course, connect to correct. That would be my first gift to the teachers there. Some teachers after that heard about it and came to borrow those books and asked me how they would get it. Some of them are now in the inner circle too, from my children's school. And then someone is getting married or anything, inner circle books, the master conclavites books, they are going to be wedding gifts to the newly wedded, because I cannot afford to have people around me that don't have the same knowledge. It is more safe to be in the ark. Noah's ark was the place of safety at that point. And in the world we are in today, intentional parenting is where you will find safety. I was almost going to say praise God. And then and so getting knowledge on how to get your children back to school, even to prepare them for a new term, has been key. Because I told you we had to relocate back from diaspora to Nigeria. It was an all-new game for the children. Even though they had been in that environment where we had chosen for them, I still had to reintegrate them. Then recently, I just adopted a new one. No more lesson. I used to do after-school lesson. After-school lesson has been cancelled. Because why? We survived without after-school lessons in diaspora. And then we're teaching them independent skills. The Independent Thinking Child, a book by Coach Wendy. That's another book. Please look out for it. And so everything, once I hear anything, I run with the instructions. Now, as little as keeping my daughter on her natural hair. Before now, when she was just as little as 1 year plus, one of the days we braided this girl's hair for Easter, and she cried and cried. We losing, my husband and I losing that hair that night. So when I now heard Coach Wendy say, "Let children be children," I started making her hair little by little, and it helped me in diaspora. The skill, I didn't know I had it. It was still in inner circle. I heard that you have innate skills, and by talking with my mom, I realized, oh, my grandma used to make hair. So actually, it's something that has been passed down. And for that 1 year, I didn't have to pay anybody pounds to make my daughter's hair. I made it, and her hair actually grew better without those braids. So I don't attach anything to her hair. Let children be children. I don't dress her up in certain ways. I heard it from here. We're raising children that will sit, that are kings, and will sit at the table with kings. They can't come out anyhow. Anyhow is not acceptable. We're not raising perfect children. I'm not saying our children are perfect, but we're raising wholesome children that will thrive in the world we are in today. And so I don't know, I've put all of the webinars together
Wow.
trying to
Yes, in
talk
fact,
about.
Joy has put all the webinars together and the books. She already chose her favorite books. Connect to Correct. She even said, once I meet you, you collect, connect, to correct. There's no, don't collect it. You know, when people are getting married, that's what we do. Give them connect, correct. Give them, the first two books. Give them and build your marriage
Building
plan.
your
Give
marriage
go
plan.
and sit down and work it. This is so important. The inner circle is how Joy collects even the unspoken words. She has not only shared the things that were said, she has even shared the things that were not said directly, that she has applied and she has turned to something that have now benefited. Simple, simple thing, right? So, like she said, we're not here to raise perfect people. We're not here to raise people who have no errors in their lives. We're here to raise wholesome people. Excellence is not perfection. Excellence is your ability to do something consistently and stay on it. If you ask me to define excellence, I tell you that excellence is staying power. How can you stay? That's your definition of excellence. I was watching Madam Runke. Madam Runke, shout out to you. We've been in Lagos. She'll come every day, put these things, make sure that this is there, make sure that that is there, and all of that. I've watched Madam Runke sitting there. I said, when you say people have staying power, there are people that have staying power. I've watched Joy. They staying power. That's what excellence is. It's not a I'm here. I'm looking for something. You're looking for what is not lost. That's why when people say they're looking for God, I'm wondering, God is not lost. You're looking for purpose. That's why you're running from one community to another purpose. Your purpose is not lost. Why are you looking for it? If you have staying power and you have the ability to take instructions, then you become an excellent person. The moment that you are, hey, I don't know, I'm not sure, hey, you are there, you are here, you are everywhere. Somebody wrote in the comment section, Honor as a skill got me a car. You see all these others that are collecting things. Let me talk like other people. All the others that are just proud everywhere, collecting things and showing. You people, I think that car, bring it for blessing so that we know what's popping in that corner that you are. All right. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And Saul said, one thing I have learned in the inner circle is the power of instructions. I first heard from Bishop David Oyedepo that people who want to fly by instructions. There's no one who can. So I have a nephew who is a pilot. My husband's first nephew is a pilot. He flies the Boeing, right? And he has been flying for over 5 years. I sat down with him this year and I said, so when you fly, since you are an experienced pilot, fly from Canada to the UK and all of that. And I said, so is there a time where you come and the instructions, you don't really need to follow it? He said, as a pilot, at the altitude we fly, there is no how. You cannot follow every single instruction, no matter how expert you have grown. And I was like, wow. And even at this level, he said, you move and breathe instructions as a pilot, because your opinion is not important at that level, because everything is so. They said the altitude, and that was it. I said, at the altitude you are, at the altitude you want to get to. It's only instructions that actually get you there. And you're getting it, you're applying it, and all of that. All right. I can see my big brother, Pastor Matthew May. Shout out to you. Yes. Thank you for being here. It's been an awesome time listening to Joy. Joy Dennis, you brought out all your fathers. All of them are inside this space rooting for you. All righty. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
for being
sis.
here. And thank you for joining me. It's such an honor
Thank you.
watching you, watching your journey, watching your the conversations, watching the confidence. The first time I met Joy, she was almost hiding away, and her face was at the back. I said, look at this girl, what's wrong with her? They come outside. Somebody said, these inner circle parents are really very proud. I said, we're just outside. We are proud of that. We are outside, we are out there. We want you to know that we are here. We have created a system where we are the remnant. Yesterday, I told you there is a remnant, right? With all the things that has happened, is happening in the world, where Satan himself have created a blueprint of sin. We are creating a blueprint of righteousness, and we will follow it to the last. So we are proud and poppy. Let it not EQ, because we are even going to be prouder, right? We are prouder and prouder people. All righty. Thank you again for joining me. So, Joy, some people are watching you now and they're wondering, the first year, Joy said, I didn't have money. And Joy is now now in the level of sitting at the table with kings. Somebody said something yesterday. She said, borrow money, get into the inner circle. You will never have to borrow again to pay. That was Leader Oluyole. It struck me. She said, borrow money, get in, apply everything you are hearing. You will never need to borrow again.
Okay.
And that was highly instructive for me, right? So, Joy, somebody's watching you now and thinking, I'm a housewife. You've been there. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get in. I don't even have money. What are they saying? People have been reaching out to me to say, what do I do? How do I do it? Over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Mama. So I'd like to say to those parents, first of all, every parent is work in progress, no matter how long you've been a parent and no matter what stage you are at. TIP is, the world is evolving, TIP is evolving, and if you don't quickly get in, I don't want you to get taken off by what is coming. We used to say in the yard that flood na bia. I think that means the flood is coming. So Noah's Ark,
Yes,
the Intentional Parenting Academy is that place of safety. If you are not in the ark, you are not safe. I dare to say. So please get in. If you are at home, a stay-at-home mom, kudos to you. You are living in purpose, and your purpose is not lost. Do it well. I found bringing value, keeping to time, bedtime routines, making sure the children go to bed at the right time, wake up. Are we there yet? No. It's a journey. No one gets to the state of perfection. It is a journey, and we are loving it. I just entered into my rest, my place of calm. This year, this holiday was the calmest for me. No summer lessons. It was just connect. If they say they are bored, oh yeah, go and play. In that boredom, you will think, you will be creative, do stuff, paint, color with them. And in fact, the fun side of me has come out. Like I've discovered myself and I feel so alive because I'm able to play. We've been all serious as adults and all that, but these things help you to relax. Just a hug from your child. That's connecting. That's all. Any child that seeks for attention, they either want negative or positive attention. If you don't give the positive attention, if their love tank is empty and you don't fill it up and you don't even have the right knowledge, definitely you respond like how Thunder, coach says something that it is a seed. that brings a plant. It's not thunder and lightning that you use to plant or to grow a seed. So you have to do the work. As a housewife, while at home, you have an opportunity. It's the best time of your life. I tell you the truth. Most working class people yearn for that connection with their children. If you had listened to um, the woman who shared 2 days ago,
Vera.
story, Vera, yes, thank you, ma. Vera share her story. You can see that what you have is gold to other people. So take advantage of the season you are in and use it to the best of your ability. Let your children be a parenting advantage to your children. Be happy about what you're doing. These children know when we're not happy. And don't, you end up transferring aggression. Coach says we bleed on people that did not hurt us. So take care of yourself, get the required knowledge, enjoy your time while at home, and while in it, do it as if it's a 9 to 5. Organize yourself. Look back, look at your family and its peculiarities, and create a structure around your home. I tell you the truth, whatever you get to do and do well now will save you in years to come. And that is the game changer for anyone at home watching me.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. If you are someone, you're a stay-at-home mom, you're thinking this thing, how am I do it better, do it well, do it differently, do it like you have a job. And yes, you have a job.
Yes.
Actually, being a home parenting is actually one of the biggest jobs ever. So when people come and say, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, I don't really have, we have career people, we have stay-at-home people, we have people in that, we have people everywhere. So if you're listening, don't be, you can increase your knowledge. See Joy, she said, I position myself with value. I thought that by being housewife, I didn't need to do anything. I just need to wash clothes, make food, and make sure everybody was clean. She didn't know that she could bring more. She didn't know that she could sit at the table with kings. And here we are today. Joy we are now walking that journey. I've had several women say to me, I don't know what to do. I don't know where. Join the inner circle. Inner circle will be a game changer for you. I know that like I know my name. All right. When people say, what will I gain from the inner circle? What is the expectation? I say, just join. You expect that you can write 10-point agenda. When you get into the inner circle, there's nothing close to it. Try it and share your result. Thank you again for joining me. And of course, you just get to pay 100,000 naira every year. It's been so awesome listening to Joy Dennis-Ajai. And yes, Joy, see you tomorrow. If you're a conference
Mama.
shout out. We are going to pop, popping
Oh,
and proud. In the next 1 day, you're going to see pictures. We're going to just watch so that we can prepare you small, right? Thank you so much, Joy. Of course, you know that
thank
I
you,
love you
Mama.
and I
Love
honor
you too,
you.
Mama.
Thank
I
you
honor
for
you,
being
Ma.
here.
Thank you,
Thank
Ma.
you for being here. And thank you for sharing your journey with us. It just shows how much work you've been able to put in. I am so grateful. And shout out to you, Mr. Dennis-Ajai. Shout out
Yes.
for being there and for these are Yada fathers. Somebody said the way you were making noise about Yada fathers at Lagos Summit. Are they special? I say, you don't get it. Please shift. Don't even try me with Yada fathers. Don't. In fact, they were taking pictures. Yada fathers were on the queue waiting to. I say, why are they on the queue? Please, everybody clear. Every Yada father to the podium. You all look at me like, what's happening? Yes, the other father, shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. All right, we're gonna let Joy go, but before we let her go, what will be your last word as we end now?
Oh, thank you, Mama. All right. So I would like to say to every parent out there, every caregiver, everyone who has anything to do with a child, that raising children is seed time and harvest. Raising children is seed time and harvest. And parenting is in the mess. So please get down to work with your children. Come down from your high ego, whatever it is, please, and connect with these children. It's more rewarding. I see parents who already have grown up children, and when they see us doing things and they're like, wow, well done, and I'm like, oh, then we're doing something right. And it's from here. Parenting is not in tips and hacks, it's in a process. So please come into the inner circle and start your process. Wherever you are is the perfect time. If you already have teenage children or adult children, it's never too late to be in the ark. For me, by God's grace, we're here for life, oh, because the path of the righteous is like a shining light, it's shining brighter and brighter. As coach is popping up, we are joining her. We are evolving around her. She's evolving, the world is evolving, and she is the standard. We're following. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you so much, Joy. See you tomorrow. All righty. I'm going to let you go now. We were live with Joy Dennis-Ajai. And Joy Dennis-Ajai shared her journey as an intentional parent, right? And how she's been in the yard 4 years counting. And yes, I told you that Joy family. And Joy has just shared her journey and has, put so much. There's so much to say about Joy's journey. I am so excited this morning. Of course, you can see the excitement. Somebody said, 1st December seems so far. Oh, don't worry. You're going to just get prepared so that you don't get, you don't get choked, and come with your humility about that. When you sow it very, very long. All right. And it's so interesting. I have watched Joy's journey and I'm excited. You can see that my excitement is palpable this morning. I didn't know she was the one coming to share this morning. I was like, so I'm like, yeah. I don't know who is sharing. I don't talk to who is sharing. I don't know where everybody just comes on their own. During the TIP Summit Lagos, Mr. Joseph just shared this journey that, captivated the whole hall. And trust me, I didn't let him share that part of his journey. Everybody have their part of the journey that I might not even get to hear. That's the truth. That's how somebody is even sharing with me now. That one has the skill bought a car. I've not heard. Ngwa, come and report yourself. And thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's been listening to us on this journey. Tomorrow we go again, and we're going to be live on my intentional parenting journey again, sharing with you all of the things, the journey where people have been able to actually implement and also have, their journeys expressed, and you see the manifestation. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share with your family and friends. Don't forget to get into the app. The Inner Circle is a 1-year program where parents actually get in to learn how to become better parents. Scratch that. How to become better people. Scratch that. How to fulfill destiny for themselves and for their children. One thing I want to assure you today is that when you get into the inner circle, your life will literally change. And I'm not saying it to impress you. I am saying it because I know that I've seen lives transformed. Some of the things that I even hear, I'm like, really? So it's not me. Some of us are called prophets on this mountain of the family system in this dispensation. And no, I'm not asking whether it's true or not. I am telling you because I know with a certitude what it is that we have heard. And because how do you confirm that someone has been called to actually journey through in a particular area of life? Transformation. So when people ask me, I say, we don't sell courses in the Intentional Parent Academy. We sell transformation because people literally get transformed, get moved from one point to another. And that's why it's not kalu. That's why it's not hit and run. That's why you need a staying power for you to actually be able to assess. When the corn grows, it actually grows in few months, it produces fruit, and everywhere it's just growing. And by the time you know it is dead, and that's it. When a palm tree grows and gets to the point of fruiting, it stays for years. It's that thing that we're building. We don't want the hit and run. According to Coach Ebuka, it's not Jehovah sharp sharp. So there's no sharp sharp anything in this place. So you're going to get in, you join in, and you stay. When you become rooted, that's when you actually become that person who produce the kind of food where every part of your body becomes productive. Where you now sit at the palace and you will not be disgraced out of the palace because you have actually groomed yourself to be seated at the table with kings. So it's not that, oh, today I get it before. I know, no, that's not what we're creating. We're here to create a blueprint. Yesterday, I shared with you the Alice Bailey's 10-point agenda. The blueprint that we are all living today, created over 100 years today. And I told you that we are creating a blueprint that the world will speak about 100 years to come. The different thing is that it's not one person creating the blueprint anymore. We are ensuring that we gather speed, just like Elijah was able to run faster than the chariots. That's the idea. So we are gathering speed by replication. So we're replicating it. While Alice Valley has one mandate, we're going to have thousands, millions of mandate. It's a game of speed because this mandate that have infiltrated the system, it's long time coming. And no, we're not going to just keep quiet, stay on the earth, and just keep going like all is well. All is not well because we're at war. But how do we fight? Agenda to agenda, transformation to transformation, light to darkness. That's the only way we can actually defeat the darkness that is there today. So join into the inner circle, and I close with this. If you need to borrow to join, borrow, and that will be the last time you will need to borrow to actually join, because you would implement and it will change your life. So it's not the normal. Somebody say, yes, it's not Jehovah partial sharp. The kind of things you hear. And yes, we must be part of the transformation mandate to make it happen. I bring you good news. And the good news is that we're here to make it happen for life. I am excited to lead this mandate with you and get to the point where in the next 100 years, people will speak of the things that were done in this state. So we're here for generations to come. We're here to grow as palm trees. We're not here as corn stalk. Jehovah sharp sharp. I have done it, I have result. We're here to build. We're here to become. We're here to establish. That's why we are here. We're here to be known, to leave the sand. You will see the footsteps that left. Thank you again for joining me. The details of the fee is on the screen. It's 100,000 naira per year for one single parent. Or if you're joining with your spouse, you get to pay 170,000 naira per year. And trust me, you want to be in. We have onboarded A, B, C, D, E, F, G. As of today, I think that G will be filled up. So we're going to H. There is a limit to the numbers we can take. And that's why we're actually doing this. So once we have that number, we're going to shut down, and we're getting there. This year we had cohort A to Q. I don't think we can even do more than 2 extracts of those Qs so that we will be able to also deliver to the point where we should. If you're not able to get into the inner circle by the 1st of December, you will wait for 1 year. Not because we just want you to wait because we want to prove a point. No, because there is a system and structure. We have 1,000 people who waited from last year, right? You will wait because we don't want you confused. Because we are not interested in you just dropping money and leaving. No, we want you transformed. The agenda. Yes, you're paying money, but we want you transformed. We want you to see that money you have paid as a token to what it is that you have actually done. It's just a token of your life. We don't want you to jump in my life, I've paid. And if that is the attitude you have, don't join. I've paid. It doesn't exist in the inner circle. I've paid. So therefore, I can just do what it is. I like Shebi, they've collected money. Mba, Biko, I am saying it again and again. You come and you come with the mindset that there is a mandate that we need to build. There is something happening in a dispensation that you need to be part of. It's an agenda, and we've not hidden it. That this is an agenda to actually get things right in today. And that is what we are here for. That is what we are actually doing. And this will not just transform your parenting, it transforms your life, transforms your marriage, it transforms your career. And of course, the fee for the inner circle actually changes in no time. So the good news is that if you are able to book with your 5,000 today, you will not be affected by the fee increment. But even if you pay 500,000 naira per year for inner circle, we would have delivered even more than what you paid. So inner circle is highly discounted. For those of you who say, oh, it's highly discounted. Somebody did a math and said, divide the inner circle fee by every day. It's only 287 naira. Some of us drink Coke every day. 200 and something naira cannot buy you Coke anymore. I hear. I don't drink Coke. It can't buy you Coke anymore. But we pay it on a daily basis. Coke and gala, Coke and bread, and all of those things. So you need to actually commit and tell yourself, I want to buy things in my brain. Some of us have Christmas clothes that cost all sorts of amounts. Sell your wig and buy wings for your children to fly. Do not forget that. You need to sell something. Somebody said, look around your house, sell something in your house and get into the inner circle. Your life is dependent on what it is that you know per time. Anything that is happening to you today, it means that you have not been able to access light in a particular area of your life. The moment you access life, it changes the game for you. My name is Wendy Ologi, and I am called the world's number one parent coach. So I come to Lagos, and Lagos said, I said, please, can we stop Africa? We are done. It is now the word most effective. Yeah. But I even have an award. Did I tell you guys that I got an award from Lagos? Yeah, don't forget. We're getting to Benin in a few weeks. If you're in Benin, make sure you come for that summit. We're about to bring the TIP news to Benin. Thank you again for being here. Thank you again for joining me. Thank you again because we are going around spreading the message. After Benin, UK others, are you there? We are landing in Birmingham. We are landing in UK, and we're going to have UK summit, right? And it's going to be resounding. Everywhere we get in, we change a narrative, we change something in the people. Lagos is not even about to recover in the next 1-2 years. It's not possible. We get in, there's no recovery. Anyway, thank you again for being here. Thank you for joining us. If you're asking, oh, Benin, when are you going to come to work? Every Benin and virus, come, travel. People, when we came to Lagos, people came from Ibadan, from Kwara, from everywhere, Oshobo, everywhere around, and they were at that place. See you again tomorrow when we'll be sharing on my intentional parenting journey. I'm particularly enjoying this journey, listening to the others. Have an amazing day, everybody, and see ya.